Hi guys, and welcome to the channel premiere for the Topps Premier Gold 2017-18 season trading card collection. As you can see in this initial video, we're going to open two full boxes on the video, a total of 48 packs, so you can look forward to that shortly. However, we're just going to start off, as it's our first video, with some information about the collection. So as you can see in the box here, it comes one box contains a total of 24 packs and the entire box, it costs a retail of $120 per box, i.e. $5 per pack of the 24 inside. It's a nicely designed box. Each packet contains 5 cards, as you see there. You've got Mane, Dele Alli, Wayne Rooney, Sergio Aguero and Paul Pogba on the front there. A little bit of extra information we just noticed before the video is if you live in the US or Canada, except Quebec, so maybe they don't like French people, who knows, then you can send away to that address there and they give you a chance of winning one of these low print run cards which are in this premium collection. I will start off with the autograph cards, which you can standardly find two autograph cards per box, as you see there. Their star signers are Kevin De Bruyne and Dele Alli. However, they have got some awful signers yet again. A lot of you regular Topps collectors will know that Joe Hart, Gary Cahill, and the dreadful Michael Carrick also sign for their club. So it's a little bit disappointing, especially as, of course, Manchester United, with all their world stars in their side. However, they only get Michael Carrick to sign on the front. It's obviously they're just using some of the old autographs from years gone by for those players, especially Joe Hart. You guys will know he's signed for Topps since 2009. Now, of course, the base set is made up of 150 cards within there, and you can also get parallel cards in addition. So there's some green variation base set cards where they're found one in every 4 pack. Red versions are found one in every 8. Yellow are found one in every 12. I have no idea why they do that. I guess it's for individual player collectors. However, seems crazy to me. You just want the standard set, especially on this channel, as you well know. There's insert subsets as well, which we collect personally. There's 20 Terrace Heroes, which are basically the fans' favourite cards. They're found one in every 4 packets. There's 20 Team Leaders, also found one in every 4. They're the captain cards. And then you get 10 of the best players in the preceding year, 2016-17. They're also they're called Premier Elite subset. They're found one in every 4. So basically, it's a 200 card set in total. And you can also find more numbered cards on those insert subsets, being the Terrace Hero, Team Leader and Premier Elite. Green are found one in every, there's 99 produced on each one. Red, there's 25, and then yellow you can get 1 of 1. So if you are a player collector, it's a nightmare. It doesn't make sense to me, but of course in the United States they prefer player collections rather than UK. Now, let's start opening these. I can see no reason why these parallels, they're really annoying, really, to be honest. Probably more annoying than the platinum allegedly signed limited editions, where 2 or 3 people pay around £300. They'll never increase in value, but there you go. Anyway, here's our pack opening underway, so let's get straight on. We'll have a detailed look at the cards first, and then we'll start skipping through the packs. So as you can see there, it's a nice shiny card, as you can see for yourself. Let's move in a bit just to see greater detail at the moment. We start off with Chelsea's midfielder Willian. As you see, the team logo there, the name. This is the standard. This is where the green and yellow stripe will come in, and red also found one in every 8. You'll get the coloured there, so we'll show you those parallels as they come. But let's move back out again and continue through. So our next one is Leroy Sané. Now, of course, our good friends from Buddies United gives us a head up on the style of the stickers. He really likes them. You guys know Buddies United. You can check him out on YouTube, one of our favoured channels. Basically though, the comment he made was they were not as thick as the usual premium cards, and indeed they're not, I would say. Possibly between these Dreadful Match Attacks cards, of course, in quality, and usual, say, for example, Panini Select Soccer cards, they're around half in thickness, I would say, but still quite nicely designed with the shiny bit there. Then on the back of these cards you get little, this is really nice there. I like the pen picture on the back rather than just a badge, etc. You get the description of Leroy Sané, of course, in his first season last year. Gives him details about that, his playing style, etc. So that's a really nice addition. His country, of course, Germany, weight, height, age, etc. is on the back there. So it's a really nice backing to it. We've got our first insert, as we said there, the team leader, which is Jason Puncheon there. Jason Puncheon. Yes, you know, he does whatever he wants, so we won't go into the main one of that, of course, but of course Brighton fans will know all about Jason Puncheon. But that's our first insert there. We've got another one here. Here we got Okazaki of Leicester and Wilfried Boney back at Swansea, as you see there. We'll pop our standard ones this side, as you can see. And let's get on with our second pack. Here we have, of course, Huddersfield in the Premier League there, and their Australian international, formerly in Manchester City, Aaron Moy. That's nice. Another team leader, as you see here, Bruno of Brighton and Hove Albion, again in their first season in the Premier League. Then we get our first Manchester United player, Phil Jones, the centre-back, followed by Charlie Daniels, always chips in with his fair few goals for Bournemouth at the back there, and then Milivojevic, the penalty taker for Crystal Palace. And as you can see, that's our first green parallel compared to the base, so our first disappointingly green parallel card. Let's continue on though. And we continue with the French midfielder Capoue of Watford, followed by Jack Butland of Stoke City. Then we have, let's move these over. Let's continue on with Kieran Clark of Newcastle. And our first Terrace hero, of course, Jermaine Defoe, back at Bournemouth after his loan spell so many years ago. Probably around 20 years ago, actually. There's Jermaine Defoe of Bournemouth, maybe a bit less than that, obviously. So our first Terrace hero, and we've completed that pack with Winston Reid. On to our next, and we've got the Mesut Ozil. Of course, everyone thought he was leaving for a different club, but he's signed a new deal with Arsenal now. There's Mesut Ozil. Then you've got Fraser Forster of Southampton. And our next green parallel card, which is of DeAndre Yedlin, the American fullback from Newcastle. And we continue on with another base, as you see there. Knockert, followed by Chris Brunt of West Bromwich Albion, of course. Next out, still no sign of autos. We start with Miguel Britos, formerly a Napoli, of course, now at Watford. Oriol Romeu of Southampton, the Saints. We've got another team leader card there, this time of Lascelles, formerly a Nottingham Forest, now of Newcastle, quality centre-back there. Next up is Joselu of Newcastle, and Renato Sanchez on loan from Bayern Munich at Swansea City. Next pack, and here's Juventus's new signing for the 2018-19 season, Emre Can of Liverpool, Calvert-Lewin of Everton, another team leader, as you see, Johnny Evans of West Bromwich Albion. Of course, has a relegation release clause there, although will West Bromwich Albion be in the relegation at the end of the season? Who knows? And then we've got, wow, we've got one of our first, this is the other insert section, and unfortunately Alexis Sanchez in his Arsenal kit, of course, but he's one of the top 10 Premier League players from last season, of course. There's Alexis Sanchez Premier Elite insert card. That's probably our best one we've got so far. Then we've got Milivojevic again of Palace base card. And next it's ex-Feyenoord Davy Pröpper at Brighton and Hove Albion. Then we've got a Terrace Hero, old Juve midfielder of course, and Marseille, now at Southampton, Mario Lemina Terrace Hero. It's our second Terrace Hero. Followed by Matthew Ryan, the Australian goalkeeper of Brighton and Hove Albion. Simon Mignolet of Liverpool, and Stephen Defoe of Burnley. Our next pack starts with Christian Eriksen of Spurs, followed by Sandro Ramirez of Everton, now back on loan in Spain. Then we've got a green parallel of Moussa Dembele of Spurs. Next up is Christian Fuchs of Leicester City, and Gregors, the Polish midfielder of West Bromwich Albion. I won't even attempt to say his surname. You guys know who I mean. Is Marcus Rashford, the youngster from Manchester. Next up is Ben Mee, followed by Tyrone Mings of Bournemouth. And we've got Coutinho, one of Coutinho's last cards for Liverpool there. This is the Terrace Hero insert card. Coutinho, that's nice. And we complete the pack with Fabianski of Swansea. So next, here's Albrighton of Leicester, David De Gea of Manchester, Kyle Walker of the blue half of Manchester, Benik Afobe, now back on loan at Wolves, but there he is in the Bournemouth one, and the team leader Tom Heaton from Burnley. That's a nice little rainbow foil, those ones. That's our next team leader. On next pack we have the Player of the Year from a couple of years ago, N'Golo Kante, Bruno Martins Indy of Stoke. Next up is Stephen Ward of Burnley, followed by Chris Lowe of Huddersfield, and Aaron Cresswell of West Ham United, fullback. He's Scouse fullback. He's continuing on with Lacazette, Chalobah of Watford. Next up is Courtois of Chelsea, and Christian Atsu of Newcastle. And finally, another insert Terrace Hero card of Huelo Gomez of Watford. Next pack we have Mohamed Salah, the Player of the Year for this season in my eyes, and I don't support Liverpool obviously. Hesse. And then we've got a, wow, that's cool, a green parallel of Eden Hazard of Chelsea, followed by Kachunga of Huddersfield and Tom Carroll of Swansea. Next pack, there's Afobe again, followed by Craig Dawson, veteran centre-back. Here's our first auto, and it is a disappointing one, as you'd guess it. Gary Cahill of Chelsea. I think that's fairly obvious, that could have been guessed. The auto of Gary Cahill, so a little bit disappointing, but still an autograph card, you can't complain. And then we have the team leader from Huddersfield of Tommy Smith. And finally, Joel Matip, the centre-back from Liverpool, just a standard base there. Next pack out is our next autograph card by the looks of it, at the bottom there. And this time it's of Chris Wood of Burnley. Chris Wood of Burnley. He's actually autographed that Woody by the looks of it. Ex-Leeds United striker, of course, Chris Wood. So not really brilliant autos in that box so far. We continue on with team leader Tom Heaton, also of Burnley. I think that could well be a trade. We've got Eric Bailly of Manchester United, Hesse again, and Scott Dan of Crystal Palace. Let's keep one of these packs for our unopened collection. So we shall keep this one for our merchandise collection, I think, as the unopened pack. And let's continue on. So, Danny Simpson. To open that pack up. Then we've got Nacho Monreal of Arsenal, Serge Aurier of Spurs, Nathan Redmond, and finally a green parallel of Wayne Rooney. So green parallel of Wayne Rooney, so quite decent parallels there. Next one, we have Jack Cork of Burnley, Tom Davies, big future ahead of him for Everton. Then we have Matthew Ryan again of Brighton, Sergio Aguero, Premier Elite subset card there, that's cool. And continuing on with Ben Foster of West Bromwich Albion. Pack, we have Bernardo Silva, new signing this season for Man City. There's the Wayne Rooney standard. We can actually see the green parallel there compared to the standard card, as you see. Followed by team leader Angel Rangel of Swansea. Next up is Dwight Gale of Newcastle, and finally the veteran Gareth Barry of West Bromwich Albion. There's Joel Matip of Liverpool again, Daryl Janmaat of Watford, Joshua King of Bournemouth, followed by our first, it looks like our first yellow parallel, of course, one in every 12 packs. These, we've got Harry Maguire, the young Leicester centre-back. So let's move that there for the yellow parallel. And next up is, just finishing that pack, Christian Benteke. On next we start with Jamie Vardy of Leicester, Leroy Fer, expert in failure for Swansea, Kolasinac, the beast of a fullback for Arsenal there, Sergio Aguero, there's his standard base card, and the Shaq, Xherdan Shaqiri of Stoke City. On next we get Chris Wood's base card, followed by Cedric Suarez of Southampton. Next up is Merino of Newcastle, Hesse. And here, as you can see, we've got our next, it's our red parallel Hesse. These reds found one in every 8 packs. So let's move that one there. Actually, let's move that. So there, so we can see for ourselves. And we complete the pack with Speroni of Crystal Palace. Onto our penultimate pack of the first box. And in this we have Buy again, Stephen Ward, Matthias Zanka, or Jorgensen I should say, of Huddersfield. We've got our Terrace hero, David Luiz. Is he a hero for you Chelsea fans? I don't know. Who knows? And Leroy Fer completes that pack again. On next one we have Tomer Hemed of Brighton, another Terrace hero there. This guy playing really well this season. Pascal Gross, the German Brighton signed from Augsburg, I believe. Next up is Lovren of Liverpool. He certainly won't be a Terrace hero for the Liverpool fans. Jan Vertonghen of Spurs, and Schneiderlin of Everton. So that completes our first box. As you see, we've got our 2 autograph hits. Pretty disappointing, as you see, just a Burnley player and Gary Cahill, who signs everything going for Topps. But now we've got our second box still to open. Let's move our unopened pack there and move our second box over here. Whoops. Let's get rid of that one. And start with our first pack. So here we go, all over again. And we start with Klukas of Swansea, Izquierdo of Brighton. Apologies for pronunciation on that one. Wijnaldum from Liverpool, Sigurdsson of Everton, and our first green parallel, it's Oliver Giroud of Chelsea. There he is in his Arsenal shirt still, of course. January signing for Chelsea. So next here we have Xhaka of Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus of Man City, followed by Scott Dann of Palace, DeAndre Yedlin, and our next Terrace hero is of the big man himself of Stoke, Peter Crouch. Of course, Stoke being managed by a fantastic manager now, probably no chance they will be relegated, I wouldn't have thought, as they've changed management. Here's Iheanacho of Leicester, followed by Pedro of Chelsea, Robbie Brady of Burnley, Ryan Bertrand of Southampton, and our next team leader, it's the Leicester team leader, as you see, Wes Morgan. And we have Son of Spurs, Sermon of Bournemouth. Next up is Lewis Dunk of Brighton, Marcus Rashford. As you can see, as a red parallel Marcus Rashford there, so 1 in every 12 packs. That's a really decent card to get, actually, even though I don't collect that type. And Dawson completes that. On next one, we start with Arnautovic of West Ham United, followed by Mooney of Huddersfield, and Terrace hero Leighton Baines, been injured so far all this season as I film this, however is on his way back now, training of course again with Everton. Terrace hero card. Then we have Nemanja Matic of Manchester United, hope I've pronounced that properly, and Doucouré of Watford. Starting the next pack is Suitner of Brighton, followed by a Terrace hero of Matt Ritchie of Newcastle. Next up is Eden Hazard's base, Matthew Loughton, and finally Asmir Begovic, now at Bournemouth, in between the sticks. Next up is Firmino of Liverpool, Wanyama of Spurs, Shane Long of Southampton. Virgil van Dijk, elite card there, Premier Elite, of course now at Liverpool, £75 million signing. Let's just pop him on there then. And next up we have Ruben Loftus-Cheek of Crystal Palace. Our next pack brings us Giroud, there he is in his Arsenal kit, and we've got a green parallel of Iheanacho of Leicester City. Next up, wow, here's a, as you can see, we've got a Premier Elite card here of Chicharito, Javier Hernandez. It's the green one, and as you see on the insert cards, it's numbered 27 of 100. So quite a cool card, even though of course I don't particularly like all these parallel cards etc. in the collection. That will be good probably to sell, I guess. Then we have Lurzel of Huddersfield and Kyle Norton of Swansea. On next pack we have Adam Lallana of Liverpool, Moussa Dembele of Spurs. We've got a team leader for Bournemouth, Simon Francis at the back there for them, of course. Next up is Ndidi of Leicester and Koyati of West Ham United. Next pack we have Andre Gray of Watford, followed by Gay of Everton, Rob Elliott of Newcastle, Kyle Norton of Swansea, and PVA, Patrick Van Aanholt of Crystal Palace. Next pack brings Alexis Sanchez of Arsenal, of course, now Manchester United, Joe Allen. We've got a green parallel of Raheem Sterling. Next up is Harry Maguire and Chicharito again there for West Ham, Javier Hernandez. There's the big man for Manchester United, Romelu Lukaku, followed by Sterling's base, of course. There's his green parallel we just pulled earlier, pack earlier. Kasper Schmeichel, terraced hero for the 2016-17 or 2015-16, I should say, champions Leicester City. I think that was then anyway. And next up is Joselo of Newcastle and Hegazi of West Bromwich Albion. Next pack we get Bakayoko, formerly of Monaco, now Chelsea, Britos of Watford, a green parallel of Joshua King of Bournemouth. Next up is Davy Proper of Brighton, and finally Andros Townsend of Crystal Palace. Next pack we have Petr Cech of Arsenal. Next up is Jeff Cameron of Stoke. And then we've got a standard Premier Elite, as you see there, insert card of Javier Hernandez. Of course, there's his green parallel numbered to 100. There's the standard one, which we will have in our set, obviously. Our next card is Fuchs of Leicester and Renato Sanchez of Swansea. Next pack out we have the most expensive keeper in the UK, Ederson, followed by Michael Keane of Everton. We've got a team leader card there of Brighton, Bruno again. Next up is Jonjo Shelvey of Newcastle and Alonso of Chelsea, the fullback, of course, for them, attacking fullback. Our next pack contains Antonio Valencia of Manchester United, Richarlison of Watford, Stanislaus of Bournemouth, then another team leader card, this time Stephen Davis of Southampton, and finally Joe Hart in the West Ham reserve goalkeeper, of course. Next pack we have Mignolet, followed by Defoe, Ramu, Terrace Hero of Koscielny from Arsenal, and finally the Polish midfielder again of West Bromwich Albion. Is our autograph card, our first autograph. Who's it of? It's of, you guessed it, the West Ham reserve goalkeeper, Joe Hart. Is our first autograph card there, as you can see. So Cahill and Wood in the first box, Joe Hart so far in the second. We've got Manolo Gabbiadini, of course, has a lot to answer for his inept performance against Sweden for Italy. Sam Clucas, Alexis Sanchez, and finally team leader Per Mertesacker, as you see there, the club captain from Arsenal. Next pack, we've got David De Gea, Sandro Ramirez. Next up is Atsu. We've got a red parallel of Jamie Vardy of Leicester, so our third red parallel actually. And Thibaut Courtois completes that pack. Next one out, as you can see, it's our next auto. This time it's of, oh, not too bad this time, an Arsenal player, Alex Iwobi, the young midfielder there, Alex Iwobi. So probably our best autograph we've pulled out of the two boxes. Iwobi there, we've got Iwobi, Cahill, Wood and Hart in rarity wise, I guess. Our next one is, wow, this is a cool card, Premier Elite Romelu Lukaku. That's cool, let's pop him there. Emre Can again, followed by Begovic and Hernandez. Next up is Ince's son, as you see, Tom Ince, Paul Ince's son. Premier Elite again, this time Wayne Rooney, back at Everton, of course, the club he loves so much. Andrew Sermon. That's the yellow parallel, so not a bad pack this one. A yellow parallel for Andrew Sermon of Bournemouth, so not brilliant those parallels, but for team-wise, there's Davinson Sanchez, fantastic centre-back, and Kevin Wimmer of Stoke City. So we're progressing nicely through the box now, as you see. Continuing on with Fernandinho of this season's champions Manchester City, Wesley Hurt of Southampton, formerly of Lazio. Here's a green parallel of Fabianski. Next up is Albrighton and Jay Rodriguez of West Bromwich Albion, of course. On to a penultimate pack of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the opening. Let me know your thoughts on the style of cards and etc. I love conversing with you guys, as you know. Kachunga, Lacazette, Christian Eriksen, Afobe, and a green parallel, this time of Britos of Watford. And a final pack. Will it bring us luck? This time, Kyle Walker. Hesse, team leader, Ryan Shawcross, ex-Man United trainee, of course, captain of Stoke City. We've got Matthew Ryan, and Tom Carroll completes the entire two-box opening there. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, as we say. Make sure you subscribe to the Football Cards and Stickers YouTube channel should you wish to see more openings of these. As you can see, we've got plenty more boxes in the back, and of course all Football Cards and Stickers products around the world you can see on this channel. Of course, I'll see you guys next time, but until then, auf Wiedersehen.